hey, I'm going to make a platter. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. This is the same thing that I've done, but the video that I made prior of this platter is almost 3 years old, and so there are lots of you who are newer to my channel who may never have seen it. So if you are watching this and it feels like deja vu, it's because you've been here a while and you are familiar with my content. If this seems new to you, then welcome. And I went back and watched my own video, which is kind of funny, just to refresh my memory on how I did it the first time, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. So this is a commission. I had a friend that reached out and said they have somebody celebrating a big anniversary at work, and they wanted to give them something really meaningful and special. And so I suggested that we do this platter. And what I did was I sent everybody I sent the PDF of the Bullseye catalog, and I asked them to pick out specific colors that they wanted to use that they thought represented her, Jennifer. And so they came up with 10 different colors, and I think that there's meaning to every one of them. They're writing something up for a card to include, which I think will be really neat. And for me, it starts with a big sheet of French vanilla, and then some transparent, some Tecta on top. So I'm going to go ahead and get to cutting on those, and then I'll start to show you the assembly as I put it together in the kiln itself on the kiln shelf. So here we go. All right, here I am at the kiln shelf. So I have a piece of thin fire down. It was curling up on me, so I've got a couple of pieces of kiln shelf just to keep it flat. I put my French vanilla down first after cleaning it very well. Then I've dusted it very lightly with clear powder. I cleaned my clear, and now my Tecta clear is laying on top. What I've done here is I've marked out, so there are 10 colors that they'd like in this platter. So I've marked a center mark on my paper so that I can just make sure this is as even as possible. And then I'm using coarse Frit to just lay down lines of color of coarse Frit all the way down across the thing. So I've marked what they are. Got red, pumpkin orange, sunflower yellow, aventurine green, aventurine blue, glacier blue, woodland brown, petal pink, regular pink, and gold purple. I also, because I'm adding, this is, you know, if you're familiar with glasswork at this point, you know about the 6mm rule. Glass likes to be 6mm thick. This is 3mm layers. And so if I add too much glass, then it could distort and kind of spread out a little bit. So I'm going to keep my glass about an inch away from all of the edges in order to try to keep most of that volume in the middle and not have it squish out too much and distort my square shape here. This is 16 by 16 square, by the way, so it's really large, but really you could use whatever dimensions you want. But in this case, it's going to be a large 16 by 16 platter, a real statement piece for her. So what I am going to do now is get my Frit and really just start laying it out. So I want my aventurine blue and my glacier blue to match up in the middle along this middle line, so I'm just going to visually try to do that. What you'll see is I'm going to lay a line of these, and then I'm going to use just a, tweezers or a little paintbrush or something to kind of get them into a shape that I like, that's a little artistic, because when you put Frit down on clear or on flat glass, it tends to bounce and move and go all over the place, so I'll have to arrange it to get it where I want it to go. Here we go. All right, there we are. I you know, tried to get this as evenly spaced across the platter as I could. I think if I'm really critical, there's a little more space over here than there is over here, but barely, and so I'm not too worried about that. I picked just a few pieces out that really went straight. I don't mind where it's, you know, uneven and where they bleed into each other. I think that's a really cool look, but if there was one that was just totally rogue and went, wow, you know, way out, then I did try to, you know, correct that and pick that up. I thought about trying to taper these to more like points here on the end, but I decided not to. I kind of like this really organic look, to be honest. So I think that's about it. Now I'm gonna fuse this. I'm gonna have a really long bubble squeeze in the middle, and my firing schedules are always in the video notes here on YouTube. If you're watching on your television, those may be tough to get to, so you might need to look on your computer or even on your phone. You can usually click on the headline of the video if you're watching on your phone, or sometimes there's a little drop down that says more that's right underneath the video headline. So anyway, Google it if you can't find it, but somebody will tell you how to get to it, but that's where I include my firing notes. So here we go. I'm looking around at the kiln and I have a lot of space up there and some space over here, so I may see if I've got a few other things I can put in for a few full fuse just to maximize my space. But this is this piece, and I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out before we slump it. All right, one more note before I fire this. Not only do I need a long bubble squeeze, but these are bullseye colors, and so they are striker, so this is gold purple. It's going to turn real dark, and so pinks in bullseye need to fire at 1225 for 2 hours for the color to fully develop. Now, if you've watched my channel for a while, you know I'm team bullseye. I love my bullseye glass, and so sorry you 96 users, eat your heart out on these pinks. But that, not only am I going to get a good long bubble squeeze, but I also need to hold these for the color to fully develop. And then I decided to throw in some hearts, and so I have these little molds, and I can do up to 12 hearts. And so I put a little bit of French vanilla frit in the bottom, and then I put some of every color in there. So all of these colors are represented in here, and then I topped them off with some clear frit, homemade frit that I made using the plunging method. And I don't know, I'm kind of tired. I think I'm about done, so even though I've got some empty kiln space, I'm just going to go ahead and fire this. Thankfully, my utility rates are cheap in Texas. See you after the firing. All right, so I slumped this piece, and here it is, and it is so big. Let's see if I can zoom out. I absolutely love it. Slump temperature was relatively low, 1160 for about 10 minutes, and it slumped into the bullseye slumper that I used perfectly. I just love the colors on this. The depth, it's hard to even say. Because I topped it or capped it with clear and then put the frit on, the frit almost, you're not gonna see this in video, but almost has the appearance of floating a little bit over the surface, which I absolutely love. I love the sparkle that you get with aventurine green, with aventurine blue. The colors across this are gorgeous. It's got a nice shiny finish to it all the way around. Super happy. No distortion on the edges because I left this frit in the middle, so I've got a nice square here. And so that's that. And then I mentioned the hearts that I made, so let me dump a couple of these out. Here are the hearts. So it turned out well using every single color that is in here, and she can decide how she wants to hand those out as well. So now I'm going to box this up for shipping, and I have an idea there. Let's see if it works. I'll show you that next if you're interested. All right, this might be something of a clunky video, but I bought at Home Depot this moving box. It's a medium TV box. It was about $20 at my Home Depot. And there is this outer sleeve that had an inner portion in it. And in that are, let's see here, I'll just pull this out because you can't see it, are 4 of these corner cushion pieces and some bubble wrap. And it says it holds art up to 21 by 21. Mine is 16 by 16. And so what I'm going to try to do is take my platter, wrap it in larger, I'm going to wrap it in some bubble wrap or something, and then in larger cardboard, and basically make a bigger shape. Then this entire thing is going to go into my box here and then ultimately get packaged up for shipping. So I don't know that I'm going to be able to do a very good video of this, but I'll see what I can do. And then if after I've done that, I'm still not, it's kind of a box within a box, but if I'm still not comfortable with the way all of that's sitting, then I may decide to wrap it yet again into another box, but we'll see what happens. We'll see how secure it feels once I get it wrapped initially. All right, so you see me wrapping this up. I used some bubble wrap, and then I used this industrial strength cling wrap on a roll, so you can see that there. I like this stuff. I actually don't use this as often as I should, but that kept everything nice and secure. Then I packed it into the box, added some packing paper, felt pretty good about it, so I went ahead and shipped it, and it arrived, and it was perfect, and she absolutely loves it and couldn't be more happy. So I'm pleased with the way that box worked for me and how that shipped. Hope you learned a little something on this video. Again, it's a repeat of something I've done before, but man, I love this project. Take care, everybody. Catch you all later. Bye-bye.